Welcome back to Fire to Fork. Now today we are going to be doing burgers. Now why are we doing burgers? Basically we're down south in an area right now where you can't have campfires, which is, as you know, a bit of an issue for me. There is nothing to say you can't have any kind of a solid fuel stove. So that means something like a Weber with charcoal in it or anything like that, or something fully self-contained like what we're going to be cooking with today. So this is called a BioLite. BioLite Camp Stove 2, I believe it is. As usual, there'll be a link to this in my gear page. I've had this for a good couple of years and I love it because it means I don't need to carry gas. This is a little hiking stove. Now, I want to be clear on my use of this in a time when I'm not allowed to have campfires. Number one, as far as I know, this is not classified as a campfire. Number two, this is not usable in a lot of places where they specifically say you may not have solid fuel stoves. D'Entrecasteaux National Park is an example of that. So don't go to Yeager with one of these thinking that you're going to be okay. But we are not in one of those places. As far as I can tell from the Shire regulations, this is totally fine. And the reason that I'm very happy to do it here actually is that I've got this attachment, like the barbecue grill attachment thing, which I put over the top like that. And it means that I can cover the fire over completely. So how do you light one of these things? I will show you. Actually, I'm going to leave that on. I like this attachment because it lets me put a little bit more firewood in and get it burning down quicker. I get so much crap for using these, but it's just the quickest and easiest way of getting a fire going. And I do let them burn out fully before I put food on. But look, I just use normal cheap fire lighters. I know there are better ones. I know there are natural ones. In fact, this comes with a pack of natural ones, but I just don't find that they're nearly as effective. And look, you know, you can get fancy. I know you can get fancy. I'm not a fancy man when it comes to that sort of stuff. Throw some sticks in. Now, I can see people saying, oh, you know, what about sparks and this and that? I'm surrounded by green grass. I'm not in a bad fire danger area. And the other thing is, it's not illegal to use stuff like a grinder or a drill or anything like that that can easily throw sparks. So we're not in a total fire ban. Total fire ban, whole different kettle of fish. No way I would use this. You can't drive on dry grass in a total fire ban. You can't use a grinder. You can't do a whole bunch of things. So this is very different to a total fire ban. Now, back onto the BioLite, press the little button, that turns the fan on. This thing's quite crazy. It allows you to, so it has a little fan inside which blows on the fire, which, as you know, helps to get a fire going, helps to get it going cleaner, helps to get it going faster. Now, where do you get the electricity for that little fan? Well, it's got a little probe that goes inside, and it actually generates its own electricity from the fire, which is wild. It's got a USB point in the back that you can plug a light in or plug your phone in or camera or whatever to actually charge it while it's going. It's a very, very cool thing. This is not a sponsored thing. BioLite did give it to me, but they gave it to me like 2 years ago and I haven't even spoken to them since. They just wanted a little bit of, you know, they just wanted a couple of photos, which I gave them ages ago. So I have no obligation to say anything good or bad. I've just continued to use it because I like it. Okay, it's getting a bit warm already. What I like to do is just throw a few big sticks in there early, and then they can kind of go down to coals, and I get a nice little base, because when I'm cooking on it, I don't want to be constantly feeding fire into it. You have to remember that with these, there's a very small amount of room for fuel. So it will initially go through quite a lot of it. Don't try and just light it and cook straight away. Put my lid on, and that will smoke for a little bit because I've just suffocated the fire a bit. I might actually crack that lid a little bit and let it go for a while. As I say, if you're in a tinderbox, don't use one of these. If you're in a place like this, surrounded by, you know, greenery and stuff like that, but it's not a fire ban, but it's a, you know, technically you're not allowed to have campfires. I think it's okay. This is not legal advice. Just got to cover my ass there. this is more to show you how I manage cooking, only cooking on fire in the bush, which is one of the most asked questions I have. So I'll let that establish itself a little bit and I'll be back in a minute. So I'm actually here on a family holiday, and what I've decided to do is keep everyone happy with me, you know, working while I'm on holiday, by saying, what is your go-to fast food order to everyone here? So, sorry about the rooster. So I've asked Sam, my wife, I've asked my sister Rose, and I've asked her husband Tony what their orders are, and of course my order. Now, we've all actually got pretty similar orders, so hasn't been too hard of a thing to conquer. Sam and Rose both like a Whopper, and Tony and I both like a Big Mac. But as with everyone, you know, there are some individual differences here, so I'll show you exactly what Sam's order is. Now, the difference with Sam's order is she's celiac, so she hasn't had a Whopper in like 15 years. So I'm gonna make her first gluten-free Whopper in a very, very long time. Now, let's get a breadboard going. I've decided to upgrade my breadboard after I forgot the last one, and keeping it behind this table is so good. Just breadboard, and I use just a tea towel behind it, and apparently a sponge. And that seems to work really well. It's nice having a big, heavy-duty breadboard for this sort of stuff. Just makes my life a bit easier. So what we need to do here is start with our patty, obviously. In a Whopper, there is a single patty. This here is a beautiful mixture of, I think it's chuck, rib, and a little bit of bacon in this patty. It's an 80-20 mix, so 80% lean beef, 20% fat. That's a little bit too big for a standard Whopper, so I'm just gonna get sort of 2/3 of it. Bloody rooster. And crush it out quite thin. Now, this is gonna be a little bit bigger than your average Whopper patty, but I don't think Sam will mind. It's quite a coarse grind, which is perfect. Now, when you're doing a Macca's burger, you do not do this. So, as in, you squash it down and everything, but you don't do what I'm about to do, and that is flame grill it. Now, in WA, we call Burger King Hungry Jack's. Don't ask me why, it is the same company. They have all the same stuff. So I'm going to flame grill that on there, not in a pan. Macca's burgers, you need to do it in a pan. Next, it's really important also that your patties are 100% meat, unless you're vegetarian, in that case they probably shouldn't be 100% meat. But if you want it to taste like a fast food burger, then it needs to be the same ingredients, and that means no filler. It also means it's very gluten-free friendly. We couldn't find any good sesame rolls down south that were gluten-free, so instead we're just using a normal burger white roll. But any celiacs out there will know that, you know, beggars can't be choosers when it comes to the types of bread rolls you get, especially in rural areas. Now, I haven't salted that yet. You only need to salt one side. You can tell when you need to flip your burger when it comes off without it sticking to the grill. If it's sticking, it's not ready to turn. That looks perfect. You've got nice grill marks, looks like a fast food burger. It's exactly what you want. Now, while that's sort of getting towards the end, I'm just going to toast these buns a little bit. Now, Hungry Jack's or Burger King or Macca's and stuff, they don't toast their buns, but you know, we can be better than that. One thing with the BioLite, if you have one of these, you will know the heat is not that even. So the closer to the center, the closer to the fire it is, the more heat there will be. It does an okay job of evening it out, but if you put something there compared to putting something there, it's going to be wildly different. Not quite done. Now, smelling burgers has brought on this thirst. So I might, oh, I don't have any beers here. I'll be back in a sec. Perfect. Colonial IPA. I know you'd be disappointed if I don't say it, so mother's milk. And just getting ready with a spoon. Not spoon, that's a knife. Well done, Harry. Oh, it's so good. Okay, that's sort of browned a little bit around the edge. A little bit there, so you don't want it to be fully dark. The burger patty looks good. Now I'm going to drop this on the heel of the bun, if you want to be a real burger wanker. If for everyone else it's just the bottom of the bun. Oh, need to open that up a bit. On a standard Whopper there are pickles and onion. We're not having any of that for Sam because she has the palate of a 6-year-old. There is tomato ketchup. This is a new one, so it's not exactly graceful. Mayo. And you want a touch more mayo than you have tomato sauce. You want lots of that. It's all going to soak into the lettuce, and of course you want a tomato. Oh, Sam has just reminded me she likes a waffle with cheese. So you might think I've buggered this up by not putting the cheese on top, because the Hungry Jacks or Burger King do not melt their cheese when they cook it. They put it on cold, so no problem. American burger cheese. Then you have your tomato, and that there. Let's do some gratuitous B-roll. Does it taste like a Whopper?
It tastes like a Whopper.
Actually tastes like a Whopper.
How did you do that?
Here you go, I want to try this.
It's incredible. It genuinely tastes like a
tastes
gluten-free
exactly like a
Whopper.
Whopper.
I've not had a Whopper in so long. I have so many fond memories.
That actually does taste exactly like a Whopper.
That is amazing. I had high hopes, but not this high. This is better than I expected.
I've been doing a lot of buggering around with fast food burgers, as you well know.
This is really good. I'm genuinely shocked. It's so good.
You're like, whoa, gosh, this dude can cook.
It's surprising. Who would have thought? That is so good.
Oh, enjoy it.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yum.
All right, well, let's get the other fellas over. Well, fella and lady over, and we'll cook some more burgers. Okay, now up next, I was going to do another Whopper, but my sister has buggered off to go and breastfeed her son, so that's fair enough. I thought that was a pretty good reason to not be here. So my brother-in-law and I are going to have a couple of Whoppers, sorry, not Whoppers, Big Macs. Same thing, except we use a lot more beef in these because Big Macs have 2 patties. So I go 2 extra thin patties. They just taste better. So what you want is about 80 grams, or sort of, I don't know, like a little ball about that big, kind of the size of a small tomato. Squash those out nice and flat. And unlike a Hungry Jack's burger, you do these in a pan. So I'm gonna drop that. Actually, I'll get this on the heat first. Then I'll drop that in the pan in a second. Squash these out. Nice and thin. And a bit of salt. Now I can see you wondering about Big Mac sauce. Now if you've watched my crash pad video, if you haven't watched my crash pad video, there's going to be a link in the description to me making a super quick and easy Big Mac in the bush. This is going to be a little bit different because I've made my own burger sauce. This will be a bit of a test. See, I haven't had anyone else try it, so we'll see if Tony likes it. All right, that's feeling nice and warm. It's a nice thin pan so it gets warm quickly. Chuck it down in the middle. Give it a bit of a crush. Now these look super thin, but that's just what Macca's does. They're like a super thin patty. And we'll get some cheese ready to chuck on them. You chuck this right on right at the end. Now, when I'm making my Big Mac, I'm going to change something slightly, and that's because when I actually order a Big Mac, I don't just order a Big Mac. I order a Big Mac with tomato and bacon. So I've got some tomato here, I've got some bacon in the fridge, and I'm going to make that happen quickly. Now, I know some of you like shortcut, but for a burger, for any kind of fast food, in fact, just for any kind of food, I just prefer streaky. It's got a lot more fat, a lot more flavour. Alex from Intense, I know you're watching this. Yeah, it's directed at you. You're a monster. None of that shortcut crap. I'm just going to throw this around the edge. Now, because it's got a very, very particular heat source in the middle here, you don't expect that bacon and other stuff to cook around it very well. This is far from an ideal solution, but it doesn't work with the grill. It's not, the barbecue attachment's not flat. It's got that sort of chimney in the middle. That means you can't put a fry pan on it and cook lots of things. So I have to do this sort of quite slowly, one at a time. So let's just sort of fast forward this to a bit of a montage. So the way you construct a Big Mac is chuck a little bit of lettuce on the base, or the heel. Lettuce. Then you want your two patties. How's that looking? That looks good. So there's your second piece of meat. So I'll do the traditional one first. That on. Traditional. Bit more lettuce. A little bit of onion. Raw onion, so that's just raw diced onion. Some pickles. Slippery hands. I use a special burger pickle, which is like a Coles brand, very cheap pickle, but they do taste the most like a Macca's pickle that I can find. Don't be stingy with these. Then, special sauce. As I said before, there's a link to the crash pad one where I show you how to make an easy special sauce. This is the not easy special sauce. This is a sauce that I made. It's going to be in my cookbook. I'm just going to put the ingredients here, take a photo, write it down on a piece of paper. I don't care what you do, just take note of it. But that's my special sauce. So that goes on there. Now, let's have a taste test. Tony?
All right, ripper.
Tell me what you really think.
It actually tastes just like one.
Does it?
Yep.
Good.
It's reaffirmed its position as better than Hungry Jack's.
Yes, thank you, yes.
Yes, that's delicious.
So the Big Mac sauce turned out all right?
Mm.
It's weird because you tried it this morning, tastes totally different.
It tastes better on the burger than it did by
Also,
itself.
I tried it an hour after it had been in the fridge, totally different flavour. Because that everyone says, oh, you got to leave it to like leave all the flavors to combine and stuff, and I always thought that was a bit of crap.
I think the beef is also better on this than a normal one because it's a bit thicker and juicy than a Macca's burger as well.
Nice, thank you. It's got a little bit of bacon in it, in the beef.
Very good.
So, oh, enjoy, mate.
Thanks.
Cheers. All right, I'm up next. So, we've seen what to do. I'm just gonna fast forward through this bit too. Okay, so let's grab a bit of bacon. Whoa, that thing is absolutely cranking at the moment. I'm actually going to take that off before I burn the bloody thing. Bacon, bit of tomato. Then, of course, actually I've put the pickles, usually you put the pickles on the crown, which I sort of didn't do on the other one. That's okay. Bit of sauce. Bit of lettuce. All right. Now, wouldn't be the same without it. Gratuitous B-roll of the better Big Mac. All right, I haven't tried this burger sauce in an actual burger yet, so let's give it a go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This is a tasty burger.
Tone, do you want to try one with bacon and tomato? See if I can change you to
You have me at bacon.
Team Extras.
Yum.
Give it a go. Very COVID safe. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, really good.
It's a whole extra level. Come on, give me that back. You'll be ordering that from now on, won't you? All right, back in 1 second. Make another burger, the final, the Whopper. See if it can live up to the childhood memories. Well, that's nearly done, so I might just quickly chuck the sauces on top. So, crown, bit of sauce, tomato sauce, a little bit of mayo. Quite a lot of mayo, actually. You wanted a little bit more mayo than tomato sauce. A little bit of lettuce. Some thicker cut onion. You don't want the diced. It's not how they do it. You should usually have rings, but I was only using half an onion. Burger pickles. So burger pickles are savoury pickles, not like a sweet and sour or anything like that. Meat on the bottom. Tomato. Flip it, and now for the taste test. Rose? What do you reckon?
I already like it better because there's wine. Don't get that at Hungry Jack's.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wine in the pool.
Okay.
Does it taste like a Whopper? Good.
It's so similar.
To give you that sort of like the satisfaction, like I was just craving a Whopper, like this will do.
Yeah.
It gives you that kind of like that
It's-
familiarity
yeah, it really
and like a bit fast foody.
Yeah. If you
It's a
think
bit
McDonald's
ridiculous.
is better than this, you got rocks in your head.
Yeah, see, I don't know why, I don't know how we're related. Like postman or something. Yeah, yeah. No, I think pregnancy is on. You've lost all your taste. Yeah, definitely. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.
Well, that's great, Harry.
It does taste like home exactly.
That is so good.